Welcome back to the channel, guys. Let me introduce you to my 2023 Toyota GR86. Guys, we finally did it. I have been wanting a GR86 for probably the last year and a half, 2 years since they came out. If you guys have been following my channel, you know I caught a lot of heat about a year and a half ago that I was going to trade in my Camaro for a Toyota GR86. Now, I had a BRZ on order. It fell through. It arrived with damages. I waited 6 months for it. I'm happy to report that this car has no dents, no scratches, and is in the cleanest condition I have ever purchased a new car. If you guys have been following my channel for some time, you know I'm picky with condition of cars. This car is awesome. Now, I ended up going with the base trim on the GR86, and I'll explain to you guys here in just a minute why I did that. And two things that stand out to me with the GR86. I think the GR86 outside just looks a lot better. This front grille, amazing, just looks so good, looks so much better than the BRZ. And the duckbill spoiler, now to be fair to the BRZ, you can add the duckbill spoiler on the rear of it. This is a base model. You guys are going to see in today's video I've added several modifications to this car. But let me go ahead and just kind of show you guys just a couple things on the car. With the base model, you just get the standard just kind of cloth seats. You don't have anything fancy. You don't have the heated seats, features like blind spot monitoring, but obviously got it in a manual, had to come in a manual. But same transmission, a lot of the same functionality, and really what I wanted this car is just for a lightweight rear-wheel drive car that I can drive up through the canyons, that I can take around town, just have some fun in, and maybe track it eventually. So there's a few modifications that I've done to it. I've had some paint protection film installed on the car. I didn't do that. I hope to have that done someday, but I did the whole front half. And what you guys will see is I have ceramic coated the car. So it's been about a little over 24 hours since I ceramic coated it, but you guys can just see, I mean, if the sun were out, I mean, hopefully you guys can just see kind of the depth of the paint and just how clean it looks. But I did that myself. So we decontaminated the paint, polished it, isopurple alcohol, and did one layer of Avalon Shield Armor King 9 ceramic coating. So another modification you guys will see, I added the duckbill spoiler. So the base trims don't have the duckbill spoiler, and it just kind of stops down there. So the duckbill spoiler, as you guys can see, it adds a whole nother dimension to the car. And another modification that I have done is I have added an exhaust. Definitely fun. These cars, I love the looks of them. They're so fun. They're lightweight. And you know, this car, as you guys know, I was kind of considering a few other options. I was looking at S2000s, which I will own an S2000, guys, I promise you that. I was looking at a Porsche Boxster S. That typically was not always on the agenda to have a Porsche, but those are actually pretty sweet for the money, and it would have saved me quite a bit of money. But I ended up buying this car here in Utah, so took local delivery of it, and I was able to inspect it, was able to go down there. They took really good care of me, didn't pay any markups, didn't necessarily get any type of deal on the car other than just getting accessories and stuff knocked off of the price, but paid MSRP. I'll share all that with you guys. I'll share monthly payments, all that stuff. But this is a car that is so much fun. You know, the first generation of these, they just lacked horsepower. They had a terrible torque curve. These are just so much better. They're putting out a little over 220 horsepower, around 160, 180 pound-feet of torque. So they're not gonna like knock your socks off, but there's some differences. And what you guys will notice and what we'll cover. So this has the same motor that my WRX has. It has the FA24. There's a little bit different things between port and direct injected, and obviously turbocharged. They're two totally different driving experiences. The transmission, I'll talk about just from a shifting. Obviously, I have a manual and a manual, but what you guys will find with the GR86 and the BRZ, the throws are shorter, they're a lot more precise, and they're amazing. The limited trim does come with better wheels. I'm not a fan of these wheels. They have different sets of tires. I believe these are 17s, the limiteds are 18s, but overall, I've always been a big fan of silver. And I think with that ceramic coating, this just absolutely pops. So for the channel, keeping the WRX, keeping the GR86, and going to be making content around both of those. Now, some of you might be saying, well, hey, well, why did you kind of buy a car with kind of basically the same engine? The reason for it is they're just two totally different animals. My WRX is all-wheel drive, turbocharged. This is rear-wheel drive and no turbos, but just naturally aspirated. That revs to about 6,000 RPM. This revs to, I think, 7,500. So you really have to wind it out. Rear-wheel drive. This weighs several hundred pounds less than the WRX. If I own both cars long enough, maybe we can do some side-by-side comparisons in terms of roll races, dig races, and stuff like that. But tell me what you guys think. Are you guys a fan of the platform? It's interesting. Toyota is pumping out a lot more of the GR86 than Subaru is of the BRZ. So I have a lot of awesome plans for this car. I really do want to get some wheels and new tires. And when I originally kind of went through the whole buying process for trying to get a GR86, I initially really just wanted the limited trim and the BRZ, or the premium trim in the GR86. And the only thing that I'm really missing out on is heated seats. And this is a car that I do not plan to drive in the wintertime. This is a car that I really just want to drive kind of in the summer, fall, and maybe early spring. But I don't need heated seats. Even though I like the wheels on the limited, I'm going to be swapping them out anyways. The duckbill spoiler, have already added it on there. And the seats, not that big a difference. And you guys can see in here, and there's some cool clusters and things. Funny thing is, I had to order the floor mats because this did not come with them. It only just came with the USB charging cables. But you know what? I lied. Let's go ahead. We'll fire it up for you guys. I'll get you some better cold starts in the future. It has some cool graphics and different things in here. So what's kind of cool right now is I can set, because I'm in my break-in period, I can set the RPM at 4,000, so it'll alert me before it gets up to 4,000. But you guys can see it revs to 7,500. If you put it in track mode, changes the gauge cluster, which is pretty cool, that I really like. And there's some really cool things within it that I'm a fan of. Let's see if I can go through these. I might have to be driving in order to do it. Oh, it's because my door's open. Let's go ahead and shut this. So some of the things that are really cool over here on the left that I really like right here, you kind of got like the torque curve, the RPM. You can see there's still a little bit of drop off, but nowhere near the torque dip like the previous gen, a lot less rev hang. But this is probably my favorite setup in terms of the gauges. I do like the track setup, but as you guys can see, I only have 182 miles on it. So there you have it, guys. That's just a very high level GR86. Are you guys excited? Leave a comment below. Is this a car you expected me to get? Is this a car you expected me to add? What are you most interested in? The WRX, the GR86? Let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know videos you guys would like to see. Let me know any type of content. But super pumped to have this car. I'm excited to be able to get it out, maybe track it, do some fun canyon carving, but this is such a bargain. At under $30,000 MSRP to have a rear-wheel drive, manual transmission car, it is hard to beat. Hard to beat for sure.
We hustle.